My name is John Reynolds. This is my wife, Mary Ellen. Most people in the parish know me as Jack. We got married October 17th, 1964.
My name is Karen O'Brien Lenois. I have been a member of St. Rita's Parish since I was 12 years old. I am now 71, so that makes me a member of the parish for 59 years. I was married here at St. Rita's.
My name is George Zocco. My wife is Kathleen, the former Kathleen Lohman. We were married April 25th, 1964, right down here in the lower church.
We've been parishioners here for 58 years. We moved in about 4 years after we first got married. And we had one child at the time, and the other three were born while we were parishioners here and received all the sacraments of the church here. And one daughter got married here.
I have 3 children. They were all baptized here, received their sacraments here. My oldest son is being married in the church here in November with Monsignor Walker, who used to be a pastor here, and Father Sharkey concelebrating.
Let's say I did my first communion here, I did my confirmation, and naturally matrimony. And I have grandchildren who have made their first communions, the confirmation, etc.
For me, First Holy Communion, confirmation, then marriage. I do remember we had to come in the side door over here and go all the way down to the back at the end of the church and around and then down the aisle before, it was the back door, the front door used to be in the side of Russell Street. And that's the way you used to come in. We couldn't come in that way. It no longer existed. So that's primarily what I remember.
Like Kathy Lohman, we had to come in the side door. And usually the bride likes to come down from the back, and nobody see her until she comes down. But, everybody saw us going down the side and then going down from the back.
My brother got married in the lower church in August of 1945. And it was an extremely hot day, as I had said earlier. The lower church was always so hot. Well, as the Mass went on, the father of the bride got up from the pew, or seat rather, and he fainted in the middle of the aisle. About 5 minutes later, the groom, my brother, fainted on the altar. Everyone was rushing around trying to help him. A lot of nurses in the family, they were all rushing, trying to revive them and get them up. And the best man fainted. And then about 10 minutes later, the priest went on with the Mass, but about 10 minutes later, he had to leave the altar because he was fainting too. He had to go out and get a cold drink of water. So he came back on the altar and hurried Mass all the way through. And then there was nobody to walk out with the bride. The groom was still in the back of the church. They went back and got him on his feet. And the priest said, "Run." And that's what they did. They ran out. But I had a very young sister at the time, and she was a flower girl, and she had been taught to walk slow. So they went flying out the door, but everybody was backed up behind this little girl who had been taught to walk. It was one of the funniest weddings I had ever gone to. but we got through it. But it was really very, very difficult place to have Mass. So we were all delighted to know that we were probably getting a new church with air conditioning.
I was young, remember, I was only 12. And, but I have memories of it being informal. I remember one Sunday my sister forgot her hat. And she was at that time 7 years old, 8 years old. And my mom got real upset and she said to my dad, "Jack, go back and get her hat. She can't go into church like that." And Monsignor Daly was standing there and he said, "Marge, all the rules will change. Don't worry about it." And I'll never forget that because he's right.
We used to call it the Little Church in the Vale for some reason. I don't know where it got that nickname, but and there was the original church that was over in the parking lot, a little white church. That's where I studied for my confirmation. So I have a lot of memories from St. Rita's.
No, we knew it was not, because Monsignor Daly had said, "Are you sure you want to get married here?" And I said, "Yeah." Little did I know. It was going to look like plasticrete on the outside. And a bare bulb was going to be hanging over my head in one of the pictures.
Ed Berger, he was in the Park Avenue Club. They were very instrumental in making a lot of some of the money that, funded the upper church. So my father wanted me to wait, but didn't want to wait.
I was in love.
She chose the date and told me when I had to be there.
So what I remember most about the building of the church was the big nave, standing all alone, and it seemed like in the middle of Whitney Avenue. And it was quite a sight to see.
I would say that I was just surprised how gorgeous it was. I mean, it was just, it was like a cathedral. So that would be my memory.